All right, men, welcome to today's episode of Strong Men, Strong Marriages, how to bring the fun back to your marriage. So, man, this is one of the most common things that, guys that come into the program, I get to talk to them and, see if they're a good fit. One of the things they always say they want is to have more fun again, that it's just gotten to where the marriage is not fun. It's all business, it's roommate-ish. Um, or you're just like fighting and it just is unpleasant, right? Of course, if you're at a place where you're, dealing with infidelity or talking about separation, divorce, it can just feel really heavy. But I'm telling you guys, bringing the fun back to the marriage is key, right? It's going to be something really important, and you can do it. And we're going to talk about how today. So my name is Mike Frazier, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach, and I help high-achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So guys that are, professionals, doctors, lawyers, business owners, guys that are doing well out in the world, but are, struggling in their marriage, not having the sexual connection that they want, feeling more like roommates or more serious stuff, separation, divorce, infidelity, and that kind of thing. So guys, the program, right? They're getting more sexual intimacy and connection, something that we all want. That's an important part of marriage. Guys are having fun date nights, enjoying time together, having that fun again, increase self-confidence. Man, as high achieving guys, sometimes a lot of people think we have a lot of high self-confidence, but sometimes we're comparing ourselves a lot against other people, feeling like we're not doing enough. But guys are starting to feel that love from God, that love for themselves, and just doing great, right? And it's coming across in their marriage and with their kids and everybody. Guys are releasing their emotions in healthy ways. So yeah, man, like this is something a lot of us as high achieving guys, we maybe don't do very well. We bottle those up, they explode eventually. So we're learning how to release those in healthy ways, right? And man, that just gives you much more full life. Guys are saying they have more attraction, more understanding of their wives. Super cool. For me, my wife's been having a lot of anxiety lately. She struggled with that. And in the past, man, I get really frustrated and feel neglected and kind of really not be very fun myself. Um, get upset with her, right? Get kind of needy. But this time I've done a much better job of kind of managing myself, getting the support that I need, even from her, like asking for it in better ways this time around, and just being a better support to her. So that's been great. I've been happy with how I've been responding, and I feel like she has too, which has been really good. So if you're in a tough spot in your marriage right now, you're probably trying to bring up difficult topics. Again, like as a high achieving guy, you set goals, you want to go for them. You're kind of like, okay, like we've got these problems, let's solve them, right? Let's get them figured out. So, you want to talk about money, you want to talk about sex. I'm not having enough, I want to have more. With in-laws, hey, let's figure this out. How much time should we spend with them? How much not? With parenting, hey, let's get this done. Like, who should be doing what here with parenting? With religion, hey, like, let's really dive deep here and figure out what we believe. With housework, hey, let's figure out the tasks. Or with time, like, hey, here's how we should be spending our free time. A lot of us, we get judgmental about how our wife spends her free time also, which isn't very fun for her or for you. Also, guys, they'll spend a lot of time trying to figure out where we're at in the relationship. They'll want to have that discussion. They'll want to get from, like, try to extract from their wife where she thinks they are. Do we have a chance? Are we getting separated? Are we not? This is more in times when you're kind of talking a little bit more about separation. Guys won't hear anything for a couple days and then be like, okay, well, I need to know where we're at now. You're just like wanting to have quote unquote the hard talks. Hey, we need to figure this out. We need to dive deep. We need to figure out our relationship. Which it makes sense. It makes sense you're trying to do that. But it's not very fun, right? It's not very fun for her. It's not very fun for you. So the other thing guys will do, they'll come up to their wife for hugs or kisses or sex and then get turned down by their wife, right? And then get frustrated by that. Man, like, look, I'm working hard. I'm doing these things. A lot of it comes back to this concept of working hard. Because look, as a high achieving guy, we are committed to that. We're committed to being hard workers. We're committed to setting our goals and reaching them and working hard to get them, right? And so when we feel like we're doing that in the marriage, and then we're like, okay, like, let me get my hug, let me get my kiss, we can feel like we're owed that for everything we're done. And then, like, man, this isn't fair. I'm doing so much. I'm frustrated. So yeah, just putting in all that work, getting frustrated, you're not seeing the results. Man, I'm trying so hard. It's not coming across. My wife's not engaging. We're not having fun. We should be having fun. Okay. So a lot of us kind of come at marriage from this standpoint, right? Well, I read all these books. I'm listening to this Mike's podcast. Like, I'm doing all the work, but my wife just doesn't see it. She doesn't seem to care. So Again, one of the most common things I hear from men is that they miss the fun. Okay. But I need to ask you, like, are any of these things that we just mentioned, are any of those fun? Okay. Is having a tough conversation fun? Is you like coming up to your wife and getting turned down? Is that fun? Right. Um, is, yeah, or having these quote unquote tough conversations fun? Is you wanting to extract from your wife where you're at in your, when you're at in your marriage fun? Okay. No. Right. So I used to uh, help people write their personal statements for medical school applications. And one of the things I said about when you're writing that application is if you're not having fun, they're not having fun. A lot of guys, they'd write that personal statement. It would just be pretty boring, like, I did this, I did that, I liked it. And I just explained to them, look, if you're not having fun, they're not having fun. So, then they'd write it and kind of tell some funny stories and kind of joke around and just enjoy writing. And then that essay was so much more fun to read and stood out a lot more. And look, we had a lot of success getting people into medical school, some of whom didn't really have the best scores or things like that, but their personal statement, the way they wrote about things was more engaging, was more fun, right? And so they got accepted. So same idea here, right? If you're not having fun, she's not having fun. So if you're like, oh, where are we at? Where are we at in the marriage? Like, you're anxious, you're trying to get this information from her. You're like, oh, let's have these hard conversations, right? She's not having fun with that either. And especially if you're a more hard charging guy trying to get this done, like, it can feel overwhelming for her. Okay, so she's not having fun. When you bring up heavy topics, it's often she wants to avoid those, right? She doesn't really want to talk about that. You know, as human beings, we seek pleasure and we avoid pain. That's why guys are saying, I want more fun in my marriage, because it's fun, right? It's pleasurable. We want pleasure. We avoid pain, right? So these hard, heavy conversations, like, a lot of us, we want to avoid those. Now, sometimes, right, as high achieving guys, it's kind of fun, or we like sort of that conflict, but a lot of times our wives don't, right? So it's not fun for her. So the other thing, when you approach her for physical touch without building a fun, connected atmosphere, she does not see that as fun, but she sees it as using her. You're like, no, Mike, it is fun. Like, getting a hug from my wife, it means everything. Giving her a kiss, it means everything. But if you haven't taken the time throughout the day and throughout your interactions to build an atmosphere where you are having a good time and you are enjoying each other and you're laughing and you know just having a good time together, then yeah, like, that's a natural progression that you will have some physical touch. But if you just come at it cold, right, she's probably is going to turn it down because she feels used. Okay? And you kind of are using her, right? So what do you need to do instead? So if you want more fun in the marriage, bring more fun to the marriage. Okay, you're a man, you're a leader, right? You're successful in your work. You know how to bring things that you want. So start bringing more fun. This seems maybe weird, but do it, right. So just start doing more fun stuff. So share a funny meme or a funny video with her, something you come across, something she might like. So you can search most popular memes or funniest videos if you're struggling for how to bring some more fun to it. Watch a funny show together. My wife and I have been watching a show called Ugly Betty. It's on Netflix. But we both laugh at it, right? We both enjoy it. I joke around with her. I like to just kind of like guess what's going to happen, make just kind of like crazy guesses about what's going to happen. I don't know, that's fun for me. And then she laughs, right? It's fun for her too. Again, if I'm having fun, more likely that she's having fun. Play a game together, right? Play board games, play sports. My wife and I will go play some pickleball together. That's fun for us. Make little bets. We've gone to Nickel Cave. That was fun. Um, Cook a meal together. So in the course, we talk more about this, about bringing fun and flirting and passion. But your erotic energy, which has to do with sex, is also like a creative energy. So if you're doing something creative together, like cooking a meal or painting or stuff like that, that can bring up that erotic romantic energy. It also gives a chance for the kind of fun physical touch, right? So you're playing a game together, you could kind of like grab her hand, no, don't make that move, right? Or you're cooking a meal together, you kind of like bump into her, or that kind of thing, right? It gives you opportunity for fun physical touch. Ask fun questions or tell fun stories. So a lot of us will, oh yeah, let me look up some questions for couples, and they're like, okay, like, what's your biggest fear, right? Or stuff like that, where it's pretty deep. Which again, it is important, right? These things do need to happen, and they're not necessarily that fun, right? If you're trying to bring fun, we're thinking laughter, playfulness, enjoyment, right? So ask fun questions, tell fun stories. So a good kind of framework for stories is first, last, best, and worst. So you could ask, right, hey, like, what was the a car is a good example. What's the first car that you owned? What's the best car that you owned? What's the worst car that you owned? What's the worst car experience that you had? Right? Those just lead to just funny stories you can tell each other. Teacher, first teacher, last teacher, best teacher, worst teacher. Right? Those can be just some good ways to start sharing with each other. That's just fun. Right? There's nothing heavy attached to that. It's just a fun way to connect. Okay. So why does this work? It works because you're being the leader. You want more fun, so you're bringing it. Okay? That's the kind of man you want to be. So you feel better and you're having fun. Okay? You want more fun in marriage. When you bring fun, you're already having more fun. Again, like, you bring the emotional tone you want. So if you want to have more fun, bring fun, have fun. Okay. And when you do that, it makes it a lot easier for her to also feel better and have fun. Laughter, it feels good. People who make us laugh and have fun, they're attractive. We want to be around them. Okay. The other really important part is it builds a base of positive interactions. You guys can start to like each other again. You can start to enjoy each other. There's a book called The Anatomy of Peace, which I highly recommend, by the Arbinger Institute. But it talks about this pyramid where the very top of the pyramid is solving problems. And a lot of times as high achieving guys, we just want to go there. Let's fix this problem. Let's get it done, right? But the base of that pyramid is helping things go right. So enjoying each other, laughing together, having fun, having conversations that aren't always difficult and about solving a problem, right? So when you build that base, okay, it makes that problem solving time be less, right? And be easier when it does happen. Okay. So in summary, don't think you have to wait to bring fun to the marriage until you've worked out all your issues. Okay. You're never going to work out all your issues. Like, stuff's always going to come up in a marriage relationship. It's just how it works. So, like, have fun along the way. You don't have to wait, right? So bring the fun right now. If you are having fun, you've already won, right? Because you're feeling better, you're more enjoyable, you're laughing, you're more playful, and that's way more attractive to your wife, right? It's more attractive, and it's more likely she's going to have fun too. Again, it builds that base so that, yeah, are you going to have difficult conversations? 100%. And if that's the only thing you do all the time, that's not fun. That's not something that she wants to be around, right? So spend some time each day, building some fun. There's this idea called positive sentiment override, which is, kind of the overriding feeling we have towards somebody. We kind of like, it's like the benefit of the doubt might be another way to put this. But it's just like, yeah, like, this is a fun person. Sometimes they're weird or whatever, but overall I like them, right? So that's what we're going for here, building that positive sentiment override, that foundation of good, happy, fun connections together. So if you want more ideas on how to do this and practice it daily, come join us in Strong Men, Strong Marriages so you can have a fun marriage again and have that great connection. So visit strongmen.io or click the link in the show notes. Apply to join, you'll fill out an application. Then we'll give you the best next step. Most likely we'll have a call and talk about your options. So again, visit strongmen.io, click the link in the show notes, and come join us. We'd love to have you have that fun in your marriage again, have that intimacy, have that connection. You can get there. You can totally do it. All right. So stay strong, men. Visit that strongmen.io. We'll see you there. Stay strong, men. We'll see you next episode.